And do you remember the first franchise that we played?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter! What can you tell me about Street Fighter?
It was interesting. I recognized the most from the song that you and TJ did. I didn't really know anything about it prior to that. You had to explain the concept of that song to me, and then with the graphics and stuff that were input in the video that y'all did, it was like once we turned the game on, I started recognizing characters, and that was kind of it. That was all I knew prior to starting. I did enjoy it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So the character that you probably recognize most, and it's also the character that you chose to play as pretty much in every iteration of Street Fighter that we played, was Chun-Li.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar, she's talking about the Video Games Icon rap battle series that me and TJ the Gamer / TJ the Rapper kind of put together. It's a brainchild of both of us, something that we can do to continually collaborate with one another because we enjoy it quite a bit. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. But as far as Street Fighter goes, before we got into it, I kind of gave you a history lesson of the importance of Street Fighter. It didn't come around until the very early 90s when you were, what would we say, 4 years old at the time?
I was 4.
So you probably don't remember Street Fighter in the arcades at that time, but it was a really big deal because it was really one of the first games. It was the franchise that popularized and kind of set into motion a template for a bunch of other people to take, copy, and then, do their own thing with it, like Mortal Kombat and some of the other games that we played. But as far as Street Fighter goes, very, very integral part of the fighting game history. We started off playing Street Fighter 2, and then we played Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and then we played Street Fighter 3. Then we played like the HD remake of Street Fighter 2. So you can kind of see the leap in graphics and gameplay that video games have now from back in the day. So first Street Fighter 2, really slow, really kind of clunky, right?
Yeah.
But you as Chun-Li, me mainly, I think I played as like Ken and Zangief, but you held your own.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Once I showed you kind of the concept of the special moves and how she has that like 1,000-foot kick thing or whatever it's called, you were able to incorporate that pretty well.
My only strategy was just to not let up because like you have more skill involved. So if I gave you any length of time to do anything, then I was going to get knocked out. So I just had to do something all the time. Like by the end of the evening, my hands were cramping, my thumb hurt. Yeah, that was my only way to win.
That's, in my opinion, if you're playing somebody in a game that you aren't familiar with in a fighting game like that, that's the best strategy. Because that's the strategy that works best against me. There's a certain kind of like mind game that goes into fighting games with people who are like seasoned, who have played it quite a bit, because they know exactly what the other person, as far as the character, is capable of. I mean, some people go so far as to know that like a jumping sweep kick has 4 frames of animation and has a hitbox, like of different sizes. Yeah, it gets super deep. I'm definitely not that deep. But when you have like me playing with Crispy, it's very much more like nuanced. And it's like, okay, from here, he can jump towards me and do a kick. He can throw a fireball, he can maybe dash, if that's in the game, and you go for a grab. Like there's certain things you can do, and then you have to think in your head. It's almost like paper, rock, scissors. If he jumps, I can do this move. If he does this, and you have to just react quickly and accordingly. But the way you were playing was very offensive and relentless, and it really threw me off. I mean, you had some wins against me because like I was trying to play methodically, and that's difficult when you're getting bombarded with I mean, in all intents and purposes, like nonsensical button combinations.
Yeah.
Because I know if I jump in with a heavy kick, I can do a sweep, and then I can go into an uppercut.
I'm not thinking about any of that.
No, but I mean, it made me like stop and go like, whoa, like, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was at these games.
Am I really the gamer?
Yeah. What if I'm the noob and you're the gamer?